There are things we know about history and things we do not. But the most thrilling of all are those we almost knew, but never did. Letters written in haste, words inked with fear or hope, but never delivered. They are not just paper, but keys to alternate worlds that could have been. If only those letters had not been lost along the way. In the vast, sprawling narrative of human existence, we often focus on the grand battles, the triumphant coronations, the seismic shifts in power that are recorded for all to see. These are the moments carved into the stone of our collective memory, the chapters we believe define us. But beneath this well-trodden surface lies a more delicate, more fragile history, one written not in stone, but on parchment and paper, carried by messengers on weary horses or transmitted through crackling wires. This is a history of near misses and what-ifs, a chronicle of moments when the entire course of civilization pivoted on a single, undelivered message. Consider the profound weight of a single piece of correspondence, a vessel carrying the hopes of a queen, the desperate plea of an emperor, or the solemn warning of an impending tragedy. These are not merely historical footnotes, they are the ghosts of alternate timelines, spectral reminders of paths not taken. The fate of empires, the lives of millions, the very shape of our modern world has more than once hinged on the successful journey of a few carefully chosen words. When that journey fails, the silence that follows can be more deafening than any cannonade. We are about to embark on a journey into these silences to explore the stories of the lost letters. These are the messages that strayed from their path, delayed by storms, intercepted by spies, or simply lost to the uncaring chaos of time. Each one represents a critical juncture, a moment where a different outcome was not only possible, but tantalizingly close. We will uncover the secrets they held, the futures they promised, and the devastating consequences of their failure to arrive. These are not just tales of administrative errors or unfortunate accidents. They are profound dramas of human endeavor, ambition, and tragic mischance. The stories that follow are testament to the extraordinary power of communication and the equally extraordinary fragility of its channels. They remind us that history is not an inevitable, pre-written saga, but a chaotic and often unpredictable sequence of events, influenced as much by what was said as by what was left unspoken. We will peel back the layers of accepted history to find the hidden narratives, the whispered secrets that could have rewritten our world. These are the tales of the lost letters, the silent architects of the world we know today, and the poignant echoes of the worlds that could have been. Throughout the ages, humanity has woven its destiny with threads of communication. From smoke signals over ancient hills to encrypted data streams circling the globe, we are defined by our need to connect, to share knowledge, to warn, and to love. A single message can be a lifeline, a declaration that changes history, or a whisper that alters a life. Its journey is perilous, a race against time, rivals, and the elements. Imagine the weight of such a message. It is more than ink on a page. It is a distillation of a critical moment. Within its folds might lie a strategy to avert disaster, a proposal to unite kingdoms, or a discovery to leap civilization forward. The messenger becomes a pivotal, often anonymous figure in history's grand play. Think of the sender, pouring hopes and fears onto the page, entrusting their future to another. They wait in suspense, scanning the horizon for a reply that may never come. A general who misses a warning leads his army into a trap. The silence left by a lost letter is fertile ground for misunderstanding and tragic errors. With every letter that goes astray, a door to a different world creaks shut, forever sealed. The lives of millions, the borders of nations, the very languages we speak could be profoundly different. The weight of these lost words is immense, a reminder of the role that chance and human error play in history. Behind the grand narratives of history, there is often a simpler story, a letter that went astray, and the cascade of consequences that followed in its silent wake. The summer of 1914. Europe stands on a knife's edge, tangled in alliances and rivalries. The assassination in Sarajevo has lit a fuse, and the continent teeters on the brink of war. In Berlin, Kaiser Wilhelm II feels the world closing in, bound by treaty to Austria-Hungary, yet related by blood to the rulers of Britain and Russia. He faces an impossible choice. As armies mobilize, the Kaiser pens a desperate personal plea to his cousin, King George V. He proposes that if Britain guarantees French neutrality, Germany will not attack. But time is running out. The message entrusted to his ambassador is delayed by the slow gears of diplomacy. By the time it reaches the British government, decisions have already been made. The invasion of France begins. The Kaiser's plea, lost to time, becomes one of history's great what-ifs. In those crucial lost hours, the fate of a generation and the world was sealed. On the sun-scorched shores of the Mediterranean, a dynasty forged in conquest faced its final hour. The Ptolemaic kingdom, a vibrant fusion of Greek intellect and Egyptian mystique, was personified by Cleopatra, a queen, a strategist and a force of nature. Her alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony shaped the world, but also drew the ire of Rome's rising power, Octavian. Octavian's propaganda painted Cleopatra as a foreign threat, turning public opinion and the Senate against her. The final clash came at Actium. Cleopatra and Antony's fleet was defeated, their dream of an Eastern empire shattered. Fleeing to Alexandria, Cleopatra barricaded herself in her mausoleum, surrounded by treasures and despair. From this prison of stone, she wrote her final message to Antony, a letter of hope, strategy, or love. But a false rumor reached Antony first. Believing Cleopatra dead, he fell on his sword. The lost letter became a silent testament to a tragedy born of love, ambition, and fate. Soon, the Serpent of the Nile would follow, and with Cleopatra, an era ended forever. The year is 1865. The Civil War has ended, but the wounds of conflict remain fresh. General Lee has surrendered at Appomattox, and President Abraham Lincoln faces the daunting task of healing a fractured nation. Lincoln, weary yet resolute, is both revered and reviled, a beacon of hope and a target for hatred. In the shadows, conspiracies simmer. John Wilkes Booth, a fervent Confederate sympathizer, plots a deadly act. Security is lax. Lincoln, ever accessible, walks the city with little protection. On April 14th, a mysterious telegram arrives, warning of a plot against the president. Its message is chilling, but it goes unheeded, lost in the chaos of government. That night, Lincoln attends Ford's Theatre, unaware of the danger. Booth slips into the presidential box and fires a single fatal shot. The warning has become a tragic reality. The lost telegram remains one of history's most haunting what-ifs. For nearly 8 centuries, the Iberian Peninsula was a land of extraordinary cultural fusion. Here, in the realm known as Al-Andalus, Islamic, Jewish and Christian civilizations coexisted in a delicate, often fraught but remarkably productive symbiosis. They created a society that became a beacon of learning and art for all of Europe. The city of Granada, nestled at the foot of the Sierra Nevada mountains, was the final glittering jewel of this world. Its crowning glory was the Alhambra, a palace and fortress of breathtaking beauty, a testament to the sophistication and artistry of the Nasrid dynasty. By the late 15th century, however, this world was shrinking, an island in a rising tide of change. The northern Christian kingdoms of Castile and Aragon had united through the marriage of Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II. These Catholic monarchs were driven by a powerful vision of a unified, purely Christian Spain, a mission known as the Reconquista, or Reconquest. For years they had waged a relentless campaign, pushing ever southward, reclaiming territory piece by piece. Granada, the last Muslim emirate on the peninsula, stood alone, a final bastion against an inexorable force. The ruler of this beleaguered kingdom was Muhammad XII, known to the Spanish as Boabdil. He was a tragic figure, a king caught between the aggressive expansion of his powerful neighbours and the fractious, infighting factions within his own court. He presided over a city that was still a vibrant centre of culture, its markets bustling, its fountains flowing, but its foundations were being eroded by political instability and the constant pressure of war. Boabdil knew his kingdom was living on borrowed time, and he was forced to navigate a treacherous path, seeking any means to preserve his people and their unique way of life. The siege of Granada began in earnest, a slow and suffocating process. The armies of Ferdinand and Isabella surrounded the city, cutting off supply lines and methodically conquering the surrounding towns. The vibrant life within Granada's walls began to wither. Food became scarce, and the mood shifted from defiant hope to quiet desperation. The choice facing Boabdil was stark and terrible. Fight to the last man, which would mean the utter destruction of his beautiful city and the slaughter of his people, or negotiate a surrender that might save their lives, but would mean the end of Al-Andalus forever. As the siege tightened its grip, a complex and secret diplomacy was taking place behind the scenes. While the official negotiations between Boabdil and the Catholic monarchs were harsh, demanding unconditional surrender, a different possibility was being explored through clandestine channels. A faction within the powerful Castilian court, perhaps motivated by a desire to avoid a bloody final assault or by a genuine respect for Granada's culture, saw an alternative path. This group believed that a more lenient, negotiated settlement could be reached, one that would preserve some measure of autonomy for the city. This secret faction, operating without the full knowledge of the fiercely devout Queen Isabella, made a covert offer to Boabdil. The details of this proposal were extraordinary. It suggested that Granada could become a semi-autonomous vassal state under the Castilian crown. The Muslims of Granada would be granted freedom of religion, the right to be judged by their own laws, and a significant degree of self-governance. It was a lifeline, a chance not for victory, but for survival. It would have preserved the unique cultural ecosystem of Granada, allowing it to continue as a center of Islamic life and learning within a Christian Spain. The message containing this remarkable offer was not entrusted to an ordinary courier. It was a secret of the highest order, its exposure capable of bringing down powerful figures in the Castilian court. The message was therefore encoded, hidden within the intricate patterns of a luxurious silk tapestry, a gift intended for Boabdil. The communication was a masterpiece of espionage, its vital information concealed in plain sight, woven into the very fabric of an object of art. Only a specific contact within Boabdil's court knew the key to deciphering the pattern, and in 1974 humanity reached out from the Arequipa Observatory in Puerto Rico. A message was sent, not of ink, but of radio waves, a digital tapestry of our existence. It was not a plea for peace, but an attempt to bridge interstellar space, a greeting card to any intelligence in the M13 star cluster, 25,000 light-years away, a singular act of hope, a whisper cast into the cosmic ocean. The message, 1,679 binary digits, was a masterpiece of cosmic compression. It contained the atomic numbers of our fundamental elements and the formulas for the nucleotides of our DNA. It depicted a human figure, our average height, and the population of our planet. It was a self-portrait, a summary of our chemistry, biology, and place in the solar system. The target, Messier 13, was chosen with care, a dense field of ancient stars. The message was aimed at the heart of this stellar city, traveling at the speed of light. Even at light speed, its journey is slow, taking 25,000 years to arrive. The architects knew they would never see the fruits of their labor. This act was a testament to our curiosity and optimism. It was a declaration that we are here, sentient, and looking up at the same stars. The Arequibo message represents a unique form of lost communication cast into the grandest sea of all, the silent, star-dusted void. For decades it traveled in silence, a one-way communication with no expectation of a swift reply. Yet it remains a powerful cultural echo of our own cosmic message, representing our deep-seated desire for a reply. Whether a prank or genuine communication, it has become inextricably linked to the story of the Arequibo message. It is the imagined reply, transforming our monologue into a dialogue and forcing us to confront the profound possibilities of what might be listening in the dark. The Cold War was fought in shadows, a war of secrets, whispers, and information. Letters became weapons, their safe passage or disappearance shaping the fate of nations. Invisible ink, microdots, and dead drops turned simple messages into tools of espionage. A lost letter could be as powerful as a tank or a bomber. Oleg Penkovsky, a Soviet officer turned Western spy, delivered thousands of secret documents by hand. His letters gave President Kennedy the confidence to pursue a blockade during the Cuban Missile Crisis, averting nuclear war. In World War II, Operation Mincemeat used a dead man and forged letters to mislead Hitler, saving countless lives. Sometimes the most powerful message is the one that's meant to be lost and found. These were just some of the lost letters that changed history. Or perhaps history changed itself to hide them. From the pleas of kings that arrived too late to the warnings that went unheard, each missing message leaves behind a ghost of a different timeline, a world that might have been. They are reminders that the grand narrative of our past is a fragile construction, built as much upon the information we have as the information that has vanished, the empty spaces in our archives. The silent gaps in our records are not voids. They are echoes of pivotal moments forever shrouded in mystery. But the most important question remains: how many more letters are still hidden, their secrets waiting to be unearthed? How many more communiques are locked away in dusty government chests, their ink fading on brittle paper? How many desperate messages are buried under centuries of earth or resting silently in the crushing blackness of the deep sea? Each one holds the potential to rewrite our understanding of the past, to expose a hidden truth or reveal a forgotten promise, holding secrets that could tip the balance of our world even now. And perhaps, right now, at this very moment, a new letter is being written, a message of immense consequence, a digital file being encrypted, a handwritten note being folded. It could be a warning of a coming crisis, a blueprint for a revolutionary technology, or a peace accord that could end a generation of conflict. It is being prepared for its journey, entrusted to a courier, a wire, or a wave. Its message is unknown, its destination uncertain, and its significance yet to be realized. The story of lost letters is not over. It is a story that is continuously unfolding with each passing day. The communications that connect our world are more complex and instantaneous than ever before, but they are also, in their own way, more ephemeral. A deleted email, a corrupted server, a blocked transmission, the modern lost letter can vanish without a trace. And as that new message begins its journey, we are left to wonder and to wait. Our fate, as it has so many times before, hangs on its arrival.